The report does not take into account additional employee benefits, i.e. health or dental, vehicle maintenance, any, new vehicles to the fleet or fuel. These are other factors to consider. The report it's not a business plan. The report does reflect actual turf runs or like a future trend of turf runs. The report was intended to present factual information and just let the numbers speak for themselves. This report, I feel, reflects the potential impact of fiscal year 12 ambulance, revenues. So to dig into the report, I'll start off on page 2. Significant event occurred on March 29th. The fire department was not authorized for the usage of overtime unless declared an emergency by the fire chief. Going on to the next page. The fire department staff had the minimum of 14 per shift, allowing Rescue 1 and 2 to be in service, and this is prior to March 29th. From July 2010 through March 29th, there were a total of 83 turf runs due to Rescue 1 and 2 being committed to other E911 calls. And just to give you a definition of what turf runs are, they're E911 calls that have been redirected by the fire department to private ambulance service in the city. Beauport Ambulance Services are contracted with the city for turfed runs. So during this period of July 2010 through March 29, 2011, the monthly average of turf runs were 9.22. The highest number of turf runs in a month was 17 in August of 2010, and the lowest number was 5 in February of 2011, just to give you a range. And then on page 5, the graph that you see in front of you, this is from July of 2010 to March 2011, and as you can see, it ranged anywhere as low as 5 to the 17. And also to give you a comparison, I did pass out the 2010 turf runs, just so you also can see a comparison, and that also ranged anywhere between a low of 5 to a high of 25 in fiscal year 2010, and the average was about 12 in a month for turfed runs. And also, just to give you also another comparison, for 2011 turf runs, that was also in the handout. As you can see, in April, it shot up all the way up to 52 in 1 month. So July of 2010, we started off with 7. August, we had 17. September, 7. October, it was 10. November, 11, and so on. And in April of 2011, it went all the way up to 52. As I realize that there will be turf runs each month, but that's a significant increase just going from March going into April. So based on fiscal year 11, the average was 9. So possibly out of the 52, there could have been 9 turf runs in that month, just going on an average. Page 6 of the presentation. So out of the 83 turf runs, potentially we could have billed out $90,000 for a cost to the city of $170,000, which would have been a projected loss of $80,000. This is a what-if scenario if the city was to implement a Rescue 3 into service. So on page 7, now post-March 29th, the fire department did not staff the previous contract, the minimal contractual obligation of 14 per shift. Just note that the contract expired on June 30th, 2010, but under the previous contract, 14 was the minimum obligation. So from March 29th to April 30th, there were a total of 56 turfed runs. That's about 5 times the normal average compared to July 2010 through March 29, 2011. On page 8, the 56 turf runs could have produced a potential billable amount of $74,632.75 for a cost to the city of $26,710, with a projected profit of $47,922.75. And note, these are just estimates. on page 9, there were a total of 66 shifts from March 29 to April 30th. Out of those 66 shifts, 16 shifts indicated no ambulance service at all, and that accounts for 24.2% of the time. 8 shifts indicated that Rescue 1 was in service, while Rescue 2 was out of service, and that was 12% of the time. And then I also did a what-if scenario implementing a Rescue 3. There could have been 5 shifts that we could have used a Rescue 3, and that would be 7.5% of the time. And 37 shifts indicated that Rescue 1 and 2 was in service, and that would be 56% of the time. And on the next page, page 10, just kind of shows you a pie chart between, no ambulance service, Rescue 1, and a what-if scenario, and then Rescue 1 and 2, just to give you a perspective. On page 11, demonstrates a future trend going forward. So just taking that 1 month's worth, 30 days of data, which is not a lot of not much of a sample size, but just an initial trend based on the 30 days, you would see a 672 turf runs for 12 months, and then also a loss of approximately $900,000 in billable services, and a cost to the city of $320,000, which is a potential profit of $575,000. On page 12, I just want to thank the city's fire department for providing me the information to complete the analysis. Sandra Schultz, Phil Dench, and Susan Mills. And then on attachment 1, this pretty much just goes over this is a what if scenario for a Rescue 3 that we had discussed. And the turf runs are just from July till March with a monthly average of 9.22. Also the potential, billable amount. And Rescue 3 in service with a projected loss of $80,000, 278.88. And then down below, just to give you kind of a comparison with the current month, March 29th to April 30th, showing the 56 and the percent of the increase. Now looking at attachment 2, just to look at the different estimates, as far as billable amounts, intercepts are $460, basic life support transportation $851.21, and advanced life support is $1,571.11. That was used for potential billable amounts for the analysis. And when there's a staffing of 12, there's no ambulance services. And Rescue 1 is in service when there's 13 on staff, and 14, there's Rescue 1 and 2 in service, and West Gloucester Fire Station is also open. And I just want to note, on Sunday, April 10th, 2011, and that day there was 11 turf runs, which was the highest amount in those 30 days. And that could have potentially brought in, for billable services, of $14,402.61 at a cost of $1,800. And the potential profit could have been $12,602. And on that day, there was a staffing level of 10. Then on the third page of attachment 2, as you can see the totals of that month, and then I projected out the 12 months, and that's how I came up with the 672 for turf runs, and then the potential billable amount of almost $900,000, and the cost of $325.20, and a potential profit of $575. Attachment 3. These are actual revenues in the last 3 fiscal years and also the average. As you can see in this current year's budget, we have $975,000 budgeted, and through April 30th, we brought in $841,223. And fiscal year 10, the budget amount was $918,750, and we brought in $965,689.01. and that's an excess amount of $46,939. And in fiscal year 9, the budget amount was $918,750, and we brought in $926,010.13. So I just want to give you pretty much a 3-year historic data trend. And the last attachment this is the fire department's budget to actual for fiscal year 11. And this is a snapshot as of May 10th. Yeah. And that concludes the presentation.